First contact crisis. The first sign of the Vexari vessels appeared as peculiar energy readings on Earth's deep space monitoring network. By the time visual confirmation arrived, 7 massive ships had already entered the solar system, their elongated forms resembling polished obsidian needles against the backdrop of stars. Earth's unified defense forces went on immediate alert, but the vessels made no aggressive moves as they established orbit around the planet. Dr. Nora Chen, director of Earth's Global Medical Corps, stood beside General Marcus Wells on the observation deck of the International Space Platform. Below them, Earth gleamed like a blue jewel, seemingly peaceful despite the tension gripping every nation. "They're broadcasting again," an officer announced, breaking the silence. The central display activated, revealing a humanoid figure with translucent gray skin that seemed to shimmer with bioluminescent patterns. Its eyes, 3 of them, arranged in a triangle, blinked in sequence before it spoke. "People of Earth, we are the Vexari Collective. We have observed your remarkable medical achievements from afar. Our civilization faces extinction from a biological threat we cannot overcome. We come seeking an alliance. We offer technological exchange for your medical expertise." General Wells crossed his arms. "We've been monitoring their transmissions for 3 days. Same message, different spokesperson. What do you think, Dr. Chen?" Nora studied the alien's features, noting the subtle signs of deterioration around its eyes and neck, symptoms consistent with chronic disease. "I think they're desperate, General. And desperate beings will do desperate things. The World Council is voting on their request tomorrow," Wells said. "They'll want your recommendation." Nora nodded slowly. "Humanity built the Global Medical Corps on one principle: healing knows no boundaries. If they're truly suffering, how can we refuse?" 3 weeks later, Nora found herself aboard the Vexari flagship alongside 50 of Earth's top medical professionals, virologists, geneticists, surgical specialists, and researchers from every continent. The aliens had provided translated data on their condition, a progressive cellular breakdown that had already claimed billions of lives across their 12-world civilization. The Vexari Medical Bay dwarfed anything on Earth, filled with technology that made human equipment look primitive by comparison. Yet for all their advancement, they couldn't solve the puzzle of their own biology. Dr. Eliza Shaw, Earth's leading virologist, examined genetic samples alongside Nora. "It's fascinating," she whispered. "Their cells have an extraordinary regenerative capacity, yet this pathogen exploits that very mechanism. It's like nothing I've ever seen." "But not impossible to understand," Nora replied, adjusting the holographic display. "Look at this protein sequence. It's almost engineered to." The ship trembled slightly, interrupting her analysis. The lighting shifted from cool blue to deep purple. Krav, their Vexari liaison, entered the laboratory. His skin patterns pulsed with unusual intensity. "Doctors, the High Concilium requests your presence immediately. We've received concerning news." Nora exchanged glances with Eliza before following Krav through the labyrinthine corridors. Something felt wrong. The Vexari they passed moved with unusual urgency, avoiding eye contact with the humans. Instead of the conference chamber, Krav led them to a vast, circular room they hadn't seen before. Inside stood hundreds of Vexari, arranged in concentric circles around a central platform where a taller figure waited. Unlike the others, this Vexari's skin was almost crystalline, refracting light in mesmerizing patterns. "Welcome, doctors," the figure announced, its voice resonating unnaturally. "I am Arkshan Zex, Supreme Leader of the Vexari Collective. You stand at a pivotal moment in our shared history." All exits sealed simultaneously. "What's happening?" Nora demanded, but Krav had already retreated behind a barrier. "We have studied your species extensively," Arkshan Zex continued. "Your medical accomplishments are indeed remarkable, especially for such a young civilization. But most impressive is your inexplicable devotion to healing, even at the cost of your own advantage." Screens activated around the chamber, showing similar scenes unfolding aboard every Vexari vessel. Human medical teams surrounded, isolated, trapped. Earth's global medical corps has a presence on every continent, in every nation. Your healers cross borders that your soldiers cannot. They go where political forces dare not. This compassion is unique among spacefaring species we have encountered. And now it will serve a greater purpose. Nora stepped forward. We came to help you willingly. There's no need for coercion. Your willingness is precisely what we require, Dr. Chen, Zex replied. But not merely to heal our current affliction. Your species will become the healing force for our entire sphere of influence. Your medical knowledge, combined with our technology, will create a new paradigm under Vexari direction. General Wells' warning echoed in Nora's mind. Desperate beings do desperate things. You're not just asking for help, she realized aloud. You're conscripting us. A crude term, but essentially correct. Your world will become our medical reserve, producing generation after generation of healers for our expanding civilization. The screen shifted to show massive Vexari vessels positioning themselves above Earth's major medical facilities, hospitals, research centers, universities, pharmaceutical development complexes. No, Dr. Shaw lunged forward, but was restrained by an invisible force field. Resistance is unnecessary, Zex stated calmly. We have no desire to harm Earth. Your planet will remain intact, your political structures mostly unchanged. Only your medical institutions will answer to Vexari authority. Across Earth, beams of intense light targeted specific buildings, not to destroy, to extract. Thousands of medical professionals, researchers, and students vanished in coordinated abductions. Earth's most precious resource, its healers, harvested in a single, synchronized operation. President Amara Okafor stood before the emergency session of the United Nations, her face grave as she addressed the world's leaders. The Vexari have taken over 40,000 of our medical personnel. They've disabled our orbital defenses and made it clear that any military response will result in targeted strikes against civilian populations. They've left us with an ultimatum. Supply them with trained medical staff on a continuing basis or face consequences. The chamber erupted in angry shouts and demands for immediate military action. Silence. The president's voice cut through the chaos. We cannot match their technology with conventional weapons. But there is one option we have not revealed to them. On a secure screen visible only to those in the chamber, she displayed an image of an underground facility buried deep beneath the Antarctic ice shelf. Project Reaper was established 15 years ago, following the discovery of alien signals in the Theta Reticuli system. A contingency force, trained for extraterrestrial threats, equipped with technology developed from recovered alien artifacts. General Wells stepped forward. Madam President, the Reapers have never been deployed. They're our absolute last resort. And this is absolutely our last resort situation, General. She turned back to the assembly. The Vexari believe they understand humanity. They see our healers as our strength. And they're right. But they fail to understand that we protect what is ours. Deep beneath the Antarctic ice, 120 soldiers received activation codes, men and women who had volunteered for a program so secret that their official records listed them as deceased. For 15 years, they had trained in isolation, preparing for a day they hoped would never come. Commander Sasha Volkov, former Russian Spetsnaz operative before her death in a training accident, stood before her team in the briefing chamber. The soldiers wore black exosuits designed for operations in hostile environments, including the vacuum of space. The Vexari have taken our people, she said simply. We're going to get them back. Lieutenant Jackson Chen, no relation to Dr. Nora Chen, studied the tactical display. They've got 7 capital ships, unknown numbers of smaller vessels, and technology that outclasses anything we faced in training. True, Sasha acknowledged, but they've never faced humans who are hunting in the dark. On the main view screen, a sleek vessel rose from its hidden hangar. Unlike the bulky military ships of Earth's combined defense forces, this craft resembled a predator. All sharp angles and matte black surfaces designed to absorb rather than reflect energy. Its development had consumed trillions in black-budget funding, incorporating reverse-engineered technology from a crashed scout ship found decades earlier. The Erebus, Sasha announced, designed to penetrate alien defense systems, equipped with cloaking technology that renders it invisible to known detection methods, and armed with weapons specifically calibrated to target Vexari systems. Dr. Marcus Reed, the team's scientific advisor, activated a holographic display of Vexari physiology. Their biology gives them advantages: enhanced regeneration, natural bioluminescence for communication, but also vulnerabilities. Their sensory organs are hypersensitive, which we can exploit, and their hierarchical command structure means taking out key leaders will create significant confusion. Sasha nodded. Our mission is clear: infiltrate Vexari vessels, extract our medical personnel, and return them to Earth. We operate with stealth when possible, overwhelming force when necessary. She looked at each face in the room. Skilled soldiers who had given up their identities to become humanity's last line of defense. The Vexari think they understand humanity because they've studied our healers. They're about to learn about another human specialty: protecting our own, at any cost. As the Erebus prepared for launch, President Okafor delivered a carefully crafted message to the Vexari command. We acknowledge your superior technology and accept the temporary arrangement while our representatives discuss terms. We ask only for time to reorganize our medical infrastructure to meet your demands. Archonzex received the message with satisfaction. Typical response from a species that values healing above strength. They will adapt, as all subject worlds do. His second-in-command was less confident. Supreme Archon, our intelligence suggested potential military resistance. This capitulation seems too easy. Their weapons cannot touch our ships, Zex dismissed the concern. And they would never risk harm to their healers. It is not in their nature. As the Vexari vessels maintained their positions above Earth, none of their sensors detected the Erebus as it slipped past their perimeter. Commander Volkov stood on the bridge, watching Earth recede behind them. Mission parameters uploaded, reported Lieutenant Chen. First target identified: Vexari Medical Processing Station in lunar orbit. Sasha nodded, her expression resolute. Commence Operation Nightfall. The Vexari wanted to learn about humanity. Let's give them an education. The Erebus accelerated silently toward the moon, carrying the Reapers to their first hunt. On Earth, General Wells watched their departure from the Antarctic Command Center. May God have mercy on the Vexari, he murmured. Because the Reapers won't. The Reapers mobilize. The Erebus approached the lunar orbit in complete silence, its advanced stealth systems rendering it invisible to the Vexari monitoring stations. Inside the ship's tactical bay, Commander Sasha Volkov studied the holographic projection of their first target, a Vexari processing facility where captured human medical personnel were being assessed, categorized, and prepared for distribution throughout the alien empire. Structural analysis complete, reported Lieutenant Chen, his fingers moving rapidly across the control interface. The facility has 3 main sections: processing center, detention quarters, and command hub. Security consists of automated systems and approximately 70 Vexari personnel. Dr. Reed adjusted his glasses as he examined the biological readouts. I'm detecting 63 human life signs in the detention area. Vital signs indicate stress, but no immediate medical emergencies. Sasha turned to face her team, the first strike unit of 12 Reapers prepared for deployment. Each soldier wore the division's signature exosuit, matte black with integrated life support and adaptive camouflage. Their weaponry was equally specialized: modular pulse rifles calibrated to Vexari vulnerabilities, along with neural disruptors designed to incapacitate rather than kill. Remember our priorities, Sasha addressed them. First, extract our people unharmed. Second, gather intelligence on Vexari operations and the location of other human captives. Third, leave no evidence of how we operate or who we are. Major Darius Ward, her second-in-command, checked his tactical display. What about survivors? The Vexeri will know someone hit them. Let them know, Sasha replied coldly. But let them fear shadows, not soldiers. We are ghosts, not an army. That's their first lesson about humanity. We hunt from darkness. The insertion plan was precise. The Erebus would maintain position behind a small lunar crater, providing sensor coverage and emergency extraction if needed. The strike team would approach using personal propulsion units, entering through a maintenance airlock identified in the facility's schematics. Lieutenant Maya Rodriguez, the team's infiltration specialist, had already bypassed the airlock's security protocols remotely. Their systems are advanced but predictable, she explained. They rely heavily on biometric authentication, which means they never expected anyone but Vexeri to access their facilities. Overconfidence, Major Ward observed. Always a weakness. As the team made final preparations, Sasha received a private communication from General Wells on Earth. Commander, we've intercepted Vexeri communications indicating they're accelerating their timetable. They're preparing to move the first wave of human medical personnel to their homeworld within 48 hours. This operation just became even more time-sensitive. Understood, General. We won't fail. The 12 Reapers launched from the Erebus in perfect formation, their suits' propulsion systems leaving no heat signature as they crossed the lunar surface. Years of training in zero-G environments made their movements fluid and precise as they approached the Vexeri facility, a sleek silver structure embedded partially into the lunar regolith. Rodriguez reached the maintenance airlock first, attaching a small device to its external panel. 30 seconds to breach, she whispered over the secure comm. Inside the Vexeri facility, Sub-Commander Lax supervised the processing of human medical personnel. The aliens had divided the humans into specialties, preparing them for transport to various Vexari worlds based on need. This one, Lax indicated a middle-aged woman who stood defiantly before him, shows exceptional neural surgery skills. Mark her for the Primus Medical Academy. The woman, Dr. Sarah Kamathi from Nairobi's Advanced Neuroscience Center, glared at her captor. I won't help you. None of us will. Lax's skin flickered with patterns indicating amusement. Your cooperation is preferred but not required. We have methods to ensure compliance. He was about to elaborate when the facility's lights flickered momentarily. A minor power fluctuation, he assumed, until the security alerts went silent. Outside, Rodriguez's device had successfully integrated with the Vexeri systems, creating what appeared to be routine maintenance protocols while actually disabling security measures along their planned route. We're in, Sasha confirmed as the airlock cycled. Move fast. Stay silent. The Reapers flowed through the facility's corridors like living shadows, their suits' adaptive camouflage blending with the metallic surfaces. 2 Vexeri guards patrolling a junction were the first to encounter them, though encounter implied awareness that never came. Major Ward and Corporal Tanaka neutralized them with neural disruptors before they could register the human's presence. Central processing is ahead, Lieutenant Chen reported, consulting the tactical display projected inside his visor. Detention cells are 1 level below. Sasha made a quick decision. Team 1 with me to extraction. Team 2 with Major Ward. Secure intelligence from Central Command. The teams separated with practiced efficiency. Sasha led 6 Reapers toward the detention level, encountering minimal resistance. The few Vexeri they encountered were subdued silently, their unconscious forms hidden to delay discovery. When they reached the detention area, they found it guarded by a security checkpoint with 5 Vexeri officers. These guards, unlike the others, were armed with what appeared to be energy weapons. Simultaneous takedown, Sasha ordered. On my mark. Execute. 5 Reapers fired their neural disruptors in perfect unison. The Vexeri collapsed without raising alarm. Dr. Kamathi, and the other detained medical personnel watched in disbelief as black-suited figures appeared at their cell doors. Most had assumed rescue was impossible, that Earth had neither the technology nor the will to challenge the Vexari. "We're with Earth Special Forces," Sasha announced, her voice modulated to carry clearly but not echo. "We're here to bring you home." Dr. Kamathi stepped forward. "There are more of us. Hundreds more. They've already transferred many to their ships." "We know," Sasha replied as her team efficiently freed the captives. "You're just the first we're taking back." Meanwhile, Major Ward's team had reached the command center. Instead of breaching immediately, they deployed small reconnaissance drones, devices barely larger than insects that slipped through ventilation systems to provide a complete visual of the room. 8 Vexari officers, Ward reported. Central Command Console appears to contain their main database. Lieutenant Rodriguez studied the feed. "I can extract their data, but I'll need 3 minutes of direct access to their systems." "You'll have it," Ward promised. Their breach was textbook perfection. Simultaneous strikes from 3 entry points left the Vexari command staff no time to respond. Within seconds, Rodriguez was connected to their central console, her specialized equipment bypassing security protocols as she downloaded massive amounts of data, getting ship manifests, transfer schedules, facility locations, she reported. They've established processing centers across their territory, at least 20 major facilities. There's a central coordination hub near their homeworld called the Nexus. As she worked, Ward discovered something disturbing, a detailed analysis of Earth's medical infrastructure, including comprehensive lists of personnel still to be acquired. This isn't a one-time extraction, he realized. They're planning to harvest our medical personnel indefinitely. An ongoing tribute system. A deeper file revealed something even more alarming. Genetic research protocols aimed at extracting and artificially replicating human medical intuition and creativity. "They're not just taking our doctors," Rodriguez whispered. "They want to understand what makes humans exceptional healers, and potentially weaponize it." Ward copied everything while planting a subtle tracking algorithm that would allow them to monitor Vexari communications going forward. Time to move. Extraction team status. "Proceeding to rendezvous point," Sasha reported. "All captives secured." The reunited team moved quickly toward the maintenance airlock with their rescued personnel. They encountered no organized resistance. The Vexari had never imagined anyone would dare infiltrate their facility, let alone extract prisoners. Back aboard the Erebus, the rescued medical staff received care while Dr. Reed debriefed them, gathering crucial information about Vexari biology and the condition afflicting their species. "It's artificial," Dr. Kamathi revealed. "Their plague. They created it themselves as a bioweapon, but it mutated beyond their control. That's why they need our help so desperately." Commander Volkov joined the debriefing. Did they explain why they resorted to abduction rather than simply asking for assistance? "They believe compassion is weakness," another doctor explained. "In their culture, taking what you need from lesser species is simply the natural order. They couldn't comprehend that we might have helped them willingly. It made no sense in their worldview." As the Erebus departed lunar orbit, the Vexari facility finally detected the breach. Alarms sounded throughout the structure as Sub-Commander Lax frantically contacted the fleet. "Impossible," he stammered when informed that 63 humans had simply vanished. "Their planet has no technology capable of this." On the Erebus bridge, Lieutenant Chen monitored Vexari communications with satisfaction. "They're confused. Multiple contradictory orders being issued, and now they're afraid," Sasha observed. "Good. Fear makes them predictable." She addressed her team as they plotted course for their next target, a larger processing center orbiting Mars, where nearly 200 human medical personnel were being held. "The Vexari made a fundamental miscalculation," she told them. "They studied our healers and concluded humanity was defined by compassion. They never bothered to study our warriors, our protectors. They never understood that the same species that developed advanced medicine also perfected the art of war. Dr. Reed joined her at the tactical display. The data we extracted reveals their entire operation. They have 7 major vessels in our solar system, but their primary command ship, the one carrying Archon's X, remains in higher orbit. That's our ultimate target, Sasha confirmed. But first, we dismantle their operation piece by piece. We make them understand the cost of taking what belongs to Earth. As the Erebus accelerated toward Mars, the Vexeri High Command received the first reports of the lunar facility breach. Archon's X dismissed initial concerns. A minor security lapse. Increase guards at all facilities. No primitive species could challenge us systematically. His second-in-command was less confident. The humans escaped without triggering alarms until they were gone. No signs of forced entry. No casualties among our forces. They were simply neutralized temporarily. Investigate, then, Zex ordered impatiently. But do not disturb our timetable. The first transport to Homeworld departs in 36 hours. As Vexeri commanders issued new security protocols across their network, none realized that every communication was now being monitored by Earth's intelligence services through Rodriguez's planted algorithm. The Reapers were already planning their next strikes, equipped with real-time intelligence on Vexeri movements. On Earth, President Okafor received the first mission report with grim satisfaction. How did the Reapers perform, General? Beyond expectations, Madam President. 0 casualties on either side. Complete retrieval of all targets at the lunar facility, and they've acquired intelligence that will guide our next moves. And the Vexeri response? Confusion, primarily. They don't understand what happened or who was responsible. Their communications indicate they're attributing the breach to equipment malfunction or possible internal sabotage. The President nodded slowly. Keep me updated on each operation. And General, tell Commander Volkov that Earth is proud of her team. As the Erebus approached Mars, Sasha addressed her team once more. The Vexeri are about to learn Lesson 2 about humanity. We don't just protect our own. We hunt those who threaten us relentlessly until they understand their mistake. Major Ward checked his weapons. And what happens when they finally understand? Sasha's expression was resolute. Then they'll have a choice. Return every human they've taken and leave our system forever, or face the full consequence of awakening Earth's darkest capability. The Reapers. Ward nodded. No, Sasha corrected him. Something the Vexeri never accounted for in their studies of humanity. Our capacity for vengeance when those we protect are harmed. Shadow operations. The Vexeri Processing Center orbiting Mars dwarfed the lunar facility. Built into a captured asteroid, its sprawling structure housed not only detention areas for human captives, but extensive research laboratories, where Vexeri scientists studied Earth's medical techniques. Senior Commander Krex stalked through the central monitoring chamber, his skin pulsing with patterns that his subordinates recognized as extreme agitation. News of the lunar facility breach had reached him hours earlier, along with increased security protocols that he considered insulting to his competence. Triple the guard rotations, he ordered. Full biometric scans at every junction. Nothing enters or leaves this facility without my direct authorization. His security chief, a veteran of 3 expansion campaigns, appeared skeptical. Senior Commander, the lunar incident report indicates the intruders left no trace of their entry method. No visual confirmation of their appearance or numbers. How do we defend against an enemy we cannot identify? Krex's skin flashed with dangerous intensity. Are you suggesting that primitive humans could penetrate our defenses? Their most advanced ships can barely reach their 4th planet without assistance. I suggest only caution. The security chief replied carefully. The Archon's reports on human psychology indicate they are extraordinarily protective of their healers. Perhaps we underestimated. Enough. Krex interrupted. Implement the protocols. The transport vessels arrive in 18 hours to collect our human assets. Nothing will disrupt that schedule. Unknown to the Vexeri, The Erebus had already achieved stationary position 3 kilometers from the facility, matching the asteroid's rotation perfectly to remain undetected. Inside the ship's tactical bay, Commander Volkov and her team reviewed updated intelligence. The facility houses approximately 190 human medical personnel, Dr. Reed explained, highlighting sections of the holographic display. But unlike the lunar facility, this one serves multiple purposes. The Vexeri are actively studying human medical techniques here, with labs dedicated to analyzing our surgical procedures, pharmaceutical development, and diagnostic methodologies. Lieutenant Rodriguez pointed to a secure section deep within the asteroid. They've established what appears to be a neural mapping center. Based on the data we extracted from the lunar facility, they're attempting to quantify and potentially replicate human medical intuition. Sasha considered this information carefully. So this isn't just a processing center, it's a research hub. That changes our approach. Major Ward nodded. Standard extraction would alert them to our capabilities too soon. We need something more disruptive. Precisely, Sasha agreed. We divide into 3 teams. Team Alpha extracts the human captives. Team Beta secures intelligence from their research labs. Team Gamma creates a diversion that will mask our true objectives. The plan took shape quickly. Unlike the straightforward extraction at the lunar facility, this operation would require precision timing across multiple objectives. Team Gamma would trigger catastrophic but non-lethal failures in the facility's secondary systems, environmental controls, artificial gravity, communication arrays, creating confusion that would draw Vexeri security forces away from the detention areas. Remember, Sasha emphasized, we're not just rescuing our people now. We're sending a message about who they're dealing with. The Reapers deployed from the Erebus using individual drop pods, single-occupant vessels with the same stealth technology as their mothership. Instead of approaching the facility's main access points, they targeted maintenance conduits and emergency airlocks distributed across the asteroid's surface. Team Gamma, led by Lieutenant Chen, struck first. They infiltrated the facility's power distribution hub and planted specialized devices that would create cascading system failures without endangering life support. Charges set, Chen reported. Detonation in 3 minutes. Throughout the facility, Vexeri went about their duties with heightened alertness, but growing complacency. Hours of increased security had yielded nothing unusual, reinforcing Senior Commander Krex's conviction that the lunar incident was isolated. When the disruption began, it started subtly. Minor power fluctuations in non-essential systems, intermittent communication static, temperature variations in unoccupied sections. By design, these anomalies appeared to be minor technical issues rather than coordinated sabotage. Security teams responded as expected, dispersing to investigate multiple locations simultaneously. As they spread thinner, Team Alpha, led by Commander Volkov, infiltrated the detention level through maintenance shafts. Dr. James Morrison, chief surgeon from Johns Hopkins Hospital, had spent 15 days in Vexeri captivity. He'd watched as his colleagues were subjected to psychological evaluation, their medical knowledge tested through simulated scenarios. Those who demonstrated exceptional skill were tagged for priority transfer to the Vexeri homeworld. Morrison was organizing a covert resistance among the captives when the first signs of the Reaper operation manifested. The detention level's lighting flickered momentarily before stabilizing at reduced intensity. "Something's happening," he whispered to Dr. Yasmin Patel, a renowned immunologist who shared his cell. Before she could respond, the transparent barrier that served as their cell door shimmered and deactivated. Throughout the detention level, all containment fields simultaneously failed. Confused captives peered cautiously into the corridors. Just as black-suited figures materialized from the shadows, one of them approached Morrison directly. "Dr. Morrison." Sasha's modulated voice was calm but urgent. "I'm Commander Volkov, Earth Special Forces. We're extracting all personnel. Please help organize the others for immediate evacuation." Morrison stared in disbelief. "How did you?" The Vexeri said Earth couldn't reach us. The Vexari were mistaken about many things, Sasha replied simply. Quickly now. Meanwhile, Team Beta, led by Major Ward, had penetrated the research section. Unlike Team Alpha's rescue operation, their mission combined intelligence gathering with strategic sabotage. Download everything, Ward instructed as his team accessed the Vexari database. Then corrupt their research, subtly. Not enough to alert them immediately, but enough to set them back months. Lieutenant Rodriguez worked rapidly at the main console. Their neural mapping research is more advanced than we thought. They've already created preliminary templates based on brain scans of human doctors. Can you determine their purpose? Ward asked. It appears they're trying to isolate the neurological patterns associated with medical intuition, diagnostic reasoning, treatment innovation, adaptive problem solving. They want to understand why humans excel at medical science, despite our relatively brief evolutionary history. While Rodriguez extracted data, other team members moved through the laboratories, altering test parameters and introducing subtle contamination into experimental cultures. Nothing that would be immediately detected, but enough to ensure that weeks of research would yield corrupted results. Throughout the facility, confusion mounted as systems continued to fail in seemingly unrelated patterns. Artificial gravity fluctuated in random sections. Environmental controls created pockets of fog in some corridors and uncomfortable heat in others. Communication between security teams became increasingly fragmented. Senior Commander Krex struggled to coordinate a response from the command center, his composure rapidly deteriorating as reports flooded in from all sections. This is not a coincidence, he snarled at his security chief. Deploy all personnel to protect the human assets and research data. The security chief hesitated. Sir, our teams are already dispersed investigating the system's failures. Redirecting them all would leave critical systems unprotected. Do it, Krex demanded, his skin now flashing patterns of fear mingled with rage. By the time Vexari security forces began converging on the detention level, Team Alpha had already moved the human captives to emergency evacuation points, where specialized transport modules from the Erebus waited to receive them. Status, Sasha demanded as she oversaw the evacuation. Team Beta is extracting from the research section, intelligence secured, reported Lieutenant Chen. Team Gamma has completed their diversion and is proceeding to Extraction Point Charlie. The first direct confrontation came when a squad of Vexari security personnel encountered Reapers escorting the final group of human captives. Unlike the silent takedowns at the lunar facility, this encounter was deliberately visible. The Vexari raised their weapons, but the Reapers moved with superhuman speed, the result of both intense training and subtle enhancements built into their exosuits. Before the aliens could fire, 4 of their number were incapacitated by precisely placed neural disruptor bolts. The squad leader managed to activate his communication device. Command, we have encountered the intruders. They err. Major Ward silenced him with a disruptor to the chest, but not before ensuring the alien's visual feed had transmitted to Vexari Command. In the command center, Krex stared at the image in disbelief. Black-suited figures moving with impossible speed, their features obscured by advanced helmets, wielding weapons that dropped his best warriors without killing them. Isolate that section, he ordered frantically. Lock down all. His orders were interrupted as the command center itself plunged into darkness. When emergency lighting activated seconds later, a single figure stood in the center of the room, a human in a black exosuit, facing Krex directly. Remember this, Sasha said, her voice modulator giving her words an otherworldly quality. Earth does not abandon its own. For every healer you took, we will come. No distance will protect you. No defense will stop us. Before Krex or his stunned officers could respond, she activated a device that filled the room with dense smoke. When it cleared seconds later, she had vanished. The extraction proceeded with precision timing. All 3 teams converged on their designated evacuation points with both human captives and valuable intelligence secured. The Erebus remained undetected as it recovered its personnel.